All right, we're diving into something today that, and I'm not exaggerating, has never existed in commerce before. It's called BioSquares, and honestly, it's a massive fundamental shift in how we can think about conservation and, the stuff we buy every single day. The tagline is just so beautifully simple. Buy a product, protect nature.
Okay, but protect it how? Like, is this just another one of those carbon offset programs? Because let's be honest, we've all seen how complicated and indirect those can be.
No, and that is exactly what makes this a genuine breakthrough. This is all about a direct connection. Seriously, imagine the kelp in your vitamin is actually helping to protect the very kelp forest it came from. It's one purchase, one verified action with real GPS coordinates.
So what you're saying is we're moving from this old way, philanthropy, disconnected pledges, stuff that's more aspirational, to something totally new, a direct, straight line from the purchase right to a verified impact?
That's it, exactly. This is the very first platform of its kind to build this kind of transaction-level infrastructure. It makes conservation funding operational. It's just a built-in part of the system, not some separate add-on thing.
Okay, that really does make sense. It feels like a total game changer. But that's my question. If it's such a big deal, why hasn't this existed before? I mean, there's clearly a huge demand for this kind of thing from both consumers and brands.
You're absolutely right, there is. And it really boils down to two massive reasons why this just hasn't been solved until now.
Okay, so first, it's just the sheer scale of it all and the fact that the infrastructure was missing. I mean, think about this. We have 4 trillion products manufactured every year. Every single hour, billions of transactions are happening across beauty, wellness, food, apparel, you name it. And none of it, literally none, was connected to biodiversity funding in any kind of systematic way. The plumbing, the basic infrastructure, it just wasn't there. And the second reason? Well, it's this number right here.
Wow, a $700 billion annual funding gap for biodiversity. So that's the shortfall every single year?
Every single year. And what we've learned the hard way is that the old ways just can't solve it. Look, philanthropy is absolutely vital, but it can't close a gap that big. Government grants? They just can't scale to meet it. And those voluntary corporate pledges? Well, they've proven to be not enough. The problem is just way too big for the old models. So BioSquares just reimagined the entire approach. The crucial insight was this. What if we stopped trying to invent brand new funding streams, and instead, what if we tapped into the biggest one on the entire planet, global commerce, by embedding conservation funding right into the transactions that are already happening, billions and billions of times a day? Right. So instead of asking people to somehow care more or to go out and donate separately, you're just making conservation an operational part of the systems they're already using. You're not trying to change consumer behavior at all. You're changing what happens behind the purchase.
Precisely.
Okay, I'm sold on the concept. It's really powerful. But walk me through the actual mechanics. Like, how does this platform really function from the moment I buy something to seeing that proof of impact?
It's really elegant and it's simplicity. It's basically 4 steps. So, 1, a brand, could be a cosmetics company, a sports team, an outdoor label, whatever, they allocate BioSquares to their products. They get to choose a specific ecosystem to support, say kelp restoration. 2, each product gets a special QR code that meets a global standard, and this part is key. It's infrastructure that brands are already adopting worldwide. 3, the customer just buys the product and scans the code. That's it. No app to download, no account to create, super simple. And finally, 4, that scan releases the funding, and the customer instantly gets this digital certificate, a BioSquare, showing exactly what action was funded, where it is with actual GPS coordinates, and all the proof. It's that direct link, transaction to action.
And this works across different sectors, right? We're not just talking about physical products. Oh yeah, and that's the absolute key to its scalability. We're talking products, sure, but also tickets for a game, merchandise, even point-of-sale transactions in a store. Beauty, apparel, food, sports, retail, you name it. Basically, if it has a product code, it can carry a BioSquare. It just integrates seamlessly with the systems that are already in place. Okay, look, this all sounds amazing, but let's be real for a second. How do we know it's legit? I mean, there is just so much greenwashing out there. What makes BioSquares credible? How is it different from just another marketing claim on a box? That is an absolutely critical question, and the answer is really baked into the platform's architecture. It's built on these three pillars of credibility. First, BioSquares only works with accredited nonprofit organizations, ones that meet incredibly strict criteria for governance and transparency. Second, a registered custodian oversees all the funds, making sure everything is handled properly. And third, every single action generates a traceable data record. We're talking GPS coordinates, timestamps, field photos, and reports from the partners on the ground.
So it's completely audit-ready from day one. That kind of built-in due diligence that gives brands a defensible, transparent framework. And that is a massive deal, especially in a world with more and more scrutiny over environmental claims.
Exactly. The whole thing is designed for trust.
Okay, so we've seen how it works and we know how it's built to be credible. So now let's talk about how this whole thing scales, from just one single purchase to a truly global impact.
So a great real-world example is the initial deployment, a project called C-Store. This focuses on British Columbia's critical coastal ecosystems. We're talking kelp forests and salmon watersheds. It's the perfect showcase of how this transaction-linked infrastructure can connect products sold anywhere in the world directly to documented conservation work happening in these very specific, absolutely vital locations.
And this really just drives home the point that the model works across all consumer sectors. Think about it. A skincare product can help support a watershed. An outdoor jacket can be directly linked to forest restoration. Even a concert ticket could help regenerate a local river. The applications here are just incredibly broad.
So when you boil it all down, the crucial point is this. BioSquares provides a powerful, totally new funding channel that's directly tied to the immense scale of global consumer spending. It's a system that's designed to create massive, meaningful change, one single transaction at a time.
And that really leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about. In a world of 4 trillion products a year, what would actually happen if every single one of those transactions had the power to protect and restore nature?